Welcome to the Sailor Noob podcast, where a superfan and a noob talk about the original Sailor Moon episode by episode. I'm your host, Mikan Hana, joined by my co-host.
I'm your co-host, Caliban, and I will teach you how to lose weight.
And we're a couple of magical people ready to moon prism power make up this episode. Sailor Noob is a part of the Just Enough Trope Network. So as Cal hinted at, we are talking about episode number 4, Usagi go oshimasu. Surimu ni naruho in Japanese. Learn how to be skinny from Usagi, the English translation, and Slim City, the English title. So, Cal, first impressions about this episode.
I literally can't believe that this made it onto American TV.
I can't either, and I was in so much disbelief about it. This is my first time watching this particular episode. I actually thought that this was not included, and then I was, horrified to realize that I was wrong.
I know that it was edited. I think that they changed or, took some stuff out or edited it to put it on American TV. But as I was watching this and you told me incorrectly that it had not appeared on American TV, I was oh, thank God. Thank God. And then later on we learned that it was, and it was like, oh my God.
I mean,
this is as bad as the that one with the Naru's pregnancy scare.
Yeah, I mean,
why are we doing this?
I kind of don't understand why they decided, oh, this ends okay, we'll include this one, because it's such a sensitive, subject. She's 14 years old, and she thinks she's overweight, and her family, she's a couple of pounds heavier than maybe she wants to be.
Well, which we don't even know. And the episode really dropped the ball in trivializing that element of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to talk about all of our segments and the ins and outs, so I guess first impressions will become all impressions and final impressions in this segment, at least for me, just to justify why we're going on. But it would have been really easy to... Because any American cartoon would have done this. They would have had... who's Arthur's friend? It ends in an "een," Janine or something like that.
Wow. Francine.
Francine thinks that she's getting, she's a little bigger than she used to be, and she's worried about it. And then later on, we find out that her scale was broke, or that she got boobs or something like that. I don't know. They wouldn't have done that on Arthur, but you know what I mean? It was not a big deal, and everything is fine. And the lesson is just take care of yourself and have fun. And they could have done that with this, but they didn't. They even had a shot at the end where the button is she gets on the scale and she's still heavier than she wants to be.
Yes.
And that's where you show that her brother rigged the scale or something like that to torture her or something.
Which I could actually see happening, but they did not go that route.
But they did not go that way. But instead of it being, let's give them the defense of ignorance, because I literally think at this point, and I haven't read the manga, I don't know if there's a corresponding story about her gaining weight.
I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. But, I think it's literally just girls. What do they do? Girls. I mean, the first episode was jewelry, they're shopping, boys and stuff, and then one of them's going to be, oh, I'm getting fat, and so they just tackled it that way. Now, what I do like about it is that they kept the character true to the character, which is, and I love the character, but Usagi is vain, and petty. So it's something that she would, whether it was true or not, which is why I think having the brother reg the scale would have been a good button.
Yeah.
This is going to concern her so much more than evil entities sucking people's energy.
Right.
And to the point where, Luna has to manipulate that in order to get her to do her job.
Right.
Which I thought was great. And was all set up by this horrible premise that a boom anime babe, to quote the Bare Naked Ladies, who's drawn in such a way to be completely ridiculous, thinks that she's fat. What was going on with the boom anime babes and Bare Naked Ladies? Is that
maybe? I don't know.
They're thinking the wrong thing?
I think...
Is that what's happening?
I think that they think that Sailor Moon is attractive, and so then they think the wrong
thing. They think
thing.
the 14-year-old girl's attractive?
Apparently.
Guys, you already are the Bare Naked Ladies.
I know.
You can't go any deeper than that.
I know.
Bare Naked teenagers. Wee-oo.
Right.
Have a seat.
So Cal, without further ado, would you like to do a breakdown of the episode?
Usagi thinks that she is fat. She has gained weight. And so this obsesses her throughout the entire episode. Everybody else doesn't seem to think it's a problem. Naru's just eaten up. Umino is eaten up. Everybody's eaten up.
Yes.
And then they decide that we're going to do something about it. We got to a lot of fat jokes from Luna. Thanks, Luna.
I know, right?
And so we've got to go to the gym, right? Mm-hmm. And we're going to go to this one particular gym because Umino knows that's where Miss Haruka goes. And Miss Haruka, who's going to be the...
Miss Haruna.
Haruna, who's going to be the canary in all the coal mines, looks a lot thinner these days. She looks great.
Yeah.
And so, how do you know about that, Umino? Don't ask.
Right?
So anyway, we go to this gym. The gym guy, the trainer, is... Jadeite, and nobody recognizes him.
Not even Sailor Moon.
He's got glasses on.
That's it.
So Clark Kent, disguise in effect.
Yeah.
He works them out. He tells them, sweat. Sweat makes you beautiful. 1 pound of sweat is 1 kilogram.
Something
2 pounds
like
of sweat
that.
is 2 kilograms.
Right.
And then he works them all out, which is all well and good. But then maybe it's the weird tentacly pods that he puts them in that's the real secret ingredient. The ancient Japanese secret, if you will.
Right.
And that is just like a total, weird, etchy sort of thing that drains their energy.
Supposedly makes them...
He also is very... Everybody...
smaller.
A lot of women get called stupid in this. Mm-hmm. Because Jadeite is just like, these dumb whores, they'll do anything to lose weight. So we really got... It's like... It feels like it's supposed to be commentary, but I know it's not commentary. Right. Which is almost... It's worse in a way. It's revealing about the creators. But anyway, so... That's what they're doing there. Sailor Moon is worried about her weight. She runs into Motoki.
Yes.
Who's... So it's weird because it basically comes down to like, he's like, I like it with some meat on their bones.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's just a lot of objectification.
It is.
Which Sailor Moon's like, great, awesome, I'm going to be fat forever. And then she goes and gets an armful of dumplings.
Yes.
She's chowing down on them. She runs into Smug Guy because she throws one or something. Anyway, she hits him with the dumpling.
Yeah, and then he eats it.
Yeah, he eats it. And so her and Luna figure out they have to get to this gym here. And they go through the whole thing. They run into the 3 guys that are a monster.
The 3 trainers have been taken over by the Dark Kingdom.
Yeah, they're like the 3 musketeer trainers who have been taken over with their little sort of headbands or tiaras of their own. Mm-hmm. And we run into Jadeite again. He's... Apparently this has worked out pretty good because he's actually complimented... at the end by Beryl.
Yes.
Not B, solid B. She's like, it didn't go great, but you got a lot of energy, and that's a good deal.
Like a Japanese video game, you got to be solid.
Okay. And, save it for the Japanese segment. And so everything's resolved. Hopefully that gym is shut down. Umino's in jail, hopefully. And Sailor Moon gets on the scale, and she says she's fat again.
Yeah, which is...
Wah, wah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I'm at a loss for words for this episode. I just can't. And like, I think that they, like you said, should have had like a lesson, like, take care of yourself and, it'll be okay. But that's not where they went. Yes. So let's get on to our segment, Kyoro Miru, or Curiously Looking Around, where we talk about Japanese culture within the episode. And I thought we could talk about girls' Japanese gym uniforms.
It's the typical Japanese gym uniform for an anime.
Yes.
It's always like a puffy sweatshirt.
Yes.
And then it's like these like volleyball shorts.
Yes.
High hem,
high waisted. Yeah.
Not high waisted. It's just basically like booty shorts.
It is. It's like a swimsuit bikini bottom or something like that.
Kind of.
Yeah. And they're called boluma, or English for bloomers.
Right. I like Dragon Ball.
And they They actually are out of style now in Japan. Like they don't really wear them in schools anymore, but they went out of style in the 1990s and early 2000s. And apparently an educator named Akuri Inokuchi was responsible for bringing Bruma to Japan. She actually visited Smith College in the U.S. And
where's Smith College?
Isn't it like out east? I feel like maybe it's out east. And maybe like the volleyball team was wearing them or something like that. So supposedly the reason why they brought them over is for quote unquote ease of movement. Which
well, I want to talk
silly.
About ease of movement.
Yeah.
What is the deal with the taking of the pictures of the woman when she's not aware?
That is a very good question.
Because I mean, like, we're talking about Japanese culture, but anime is part of culture, and especially these slice of life shows, which are supposed to reflect things that happen in real life.
Yes.
I feel like it's a trope where there's always a weirdo with glasses.
In this case, who
sneaks into the, it's separate PE, I take it. He sneaks into, like, the girls' gym or the girls' field or whatever, and he's taking pictures of girls doing wind sprints or swimming or something like that. And
right.
What the hell?
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand why this is a thing, and I don't understand why teachers aren't like more observant about it. And like,
I mean, this is a culture where, aforementioned salarymen are reading like bondage porn on the subway or whatever.
That's true.
But still, like, shouldn't we lock these kids up? Shouldn't we discourage? Shouldn't we show that the kid that does that, because he always does it, and then the other brings it back to the boys, and they're all like, "Wow,
right.
Oh, Miss Johnson's my favorite. She's a transfer student. I like another girl's name who I can't think of. It's a Japanese girl's name here. It's like, jeez,
it's kind of gross.
Get a Playboy.
Yeah, I know.
Get a manga,
right? And like maybe your camera
breeding little serial killers.
Yeah, maybe your camera should not be allowed during gym class.
Yeah, so I'm worried about Umino. But...
Yeah, he does some things that are a little questionable.
Is there a culture? I mean, there's a culture wherever women are and wherever fashion magazines are. Unfortunately, of like the weight loss thing, but like, doesn't Japan have it down to a science? Tell us what CalorieMate is. I'll tell you what CalorieMate is.
It's like a supplement that you can eat, right?
Yeah, it's like a gross, chalky bar that is just has, I'm assuming, a little bit of sugar, calories, and then like vitamins supposedly. But like your average Japanese housewife is like, oh no, I'm getting fat, and so she's just gonna, don't you want some of this tempura? This Dutch tempura?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'll just have a CalorieMate.
Yeah.
Aren't they the kings and queens of emperors, if you will, of liquid-based confectionery and vending machines? Why isn't Sport Shake? Why wasn't that invented in Japan?
That is a very good question. I think that they do exist over there. The idea of like Slim Fast.
This is like the food segment, right?
Yeah.
Give us the title of the food segment.
So Itadakimasu with Usagi. Just one other thing to mention, like you said, she eats 6 dumplings in this episode and throws a additional 7th one at Mamoru's head. So
yes.
But yeah, I don't know why they should have like diet drinks in like vending machines. I think they probably do actually.
Yeah.
So
okay. But I mean, as far as like the food that we see, there's a lot of food. I mean, they're natural in this episode.
There is a lot of food in this episode.
I think her brother's eating a cookie at one point.
Naru's eating a bento at one point.
Yeah, Naru's eating a bento. Is that like a typical like Japanese student's lunch?
I think that a lot of them have like a variation on like a bento. Like a lot of times,
like your mom would make that for you.
Yeah, your mom would make it for you. She'd like make some kind of like fried eggs, and then she'd have like some vegetables in there and some rice, just a variety of different things, and something that like looks nice also.
What do the rich kids eat? The rich kids in my school, when we allowed for like an open campus or like delivery, then that's like they're ordering like Domino's pizza.
Sure. The high school that I went to, you could get like food from the cafeteria, and the food from the cafeteria was actually pretty good.
So
Oh,
maybe
okay.
you get like some fried food from the cafeteria or something like that.
All right.
So, yeah.
So, but in this case, they're eating in their classroom.
Yes.
I wanted to mention, too, that we're introduced to two friends of Usagi.
Yes.
Who we've never seen before, and I don't know their names.
I don't know that they have names.
I'm not sure they have names.
No, which is a little disappointing, honestly.
And they're just your typical, stereotypical teenage girls in an anime. Although one of them is supposed to be quote unquote fat, but she just isn't drawn like
overweight,
anime character.
Right.
And the other one is supposed to be thin, I think. Like
maybe too thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's like taller than everybody else.
Yeah.
So you've got the Jack Sprat and his wife type.
I get
types,
exactly what you're saying, yeah.
And they've got this bit that if it wasn't making fun of a 14-year-old girl for her weight, would be a great bit where they're all like, we're all kind of, we're all thinking about food. And then she's like, I've been on a diet. And everybody's like, well,
I know, and it's like so mean.
It's a great bit, but yeah, it's about a girl's one being worried about her weight.
Yeah, it's just like, it's kind of mean-spirited. I don't think that was the intention, but that's how it comes off.
But they've all got that like big eye, half open neutral mouth, and they're all they're like, we know.
I know.
She mentions eating just pineapple, and they're like,
yeah,
I've tried everything. We know. How would you describe Just Enough Trope? We are the Just Enough Trope podcast. I'm your host, Caliban, joined as always by my co-host.
Hi, I'm Mikan Hana.
Oh no, does this mean they can hear all the things I yell at the TV during Downton Abbey?
Why did you do that?
How do you plead?
Let the game begin. Yeah, check these fresh moves. Oh!
Don't shoot man in face.
This isn't the Save Gotham fundraiser.
It's the Chill Family Reunion.
Master Yoda assigned a Padawan to this bold Jedi.
I think it's pronounced Padawan.
Oh, Padawan, excuse me.
Hey, it's getting late. I think Ralph's going to want his motorcycle back.
Go jerk off the pictures of Jean Grey.
I am freaking getting old.
Yeah, I noticed the life clock was blinking in your hand.
Get out of here, Wilson. Go fight the Teen Titans or something.
I'm unkillable, not unwoundable.
You like Sailor Moon, right? Why don't you sail on this?
Wow.
Just Enough Trope. News, reviews, and geek fondue. Every Monday on the Just Enough Trope podcast network.
Loving me never have a say. You so be sorry.
What?
Shall we move on to My Heart is a Kaleidoscope and talk about the fashion in this episode? I thought we would talk about
some great 80s style
yes.
Leotard workout wear.
Yes, I thought we could talk about Miss Haruna's exercise outfit.
Yeah.
So we're seen in Umino's pictures, and then also we see her later. She's wearing this unitard that's like mostly red with like green stripes on the side and then like a yellow star. And then she's wearing leggings.
Yep.
And leg warmers and wrist warmers as well.
Yep.
So it's
the whole kit.
Very 80s.
Jadeite as the instructor it looks like if the Joker was going to go on a 5K. He's got like a green and purple tracksuit. And he wears red earrings. Like stud earrings.
Maybe they're rubies or something like that?
Maybe. It's a gemstone-y thing.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I want, is that like, coding is such a charged word now, but are they coding for something? Is this like a Bishonen character type thing? I don't feel like seeing a male wear earrings, and I'm assuming he's a male, but I know that he is like an otherworldly monster.
Right.
Is that a thing?
I don't think that it is, because we'll meet some other characters later that there might be coding for, but
Okay.
I don't think that that's what they're trying to say with Jedi. I think maybe he's just a fancy monster or something like that.
Just a fancy monster.
Yeah.
Speaking of fancy monsters, the three trainers that help the girls and then attack the girls have a kind of wrestler / superhero look to them. They all have bright sort of individual colors, color coding, and they just look like, they stepped out of a C-grade comic book or something like that.
Especially like on the 80s.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a dated look, But
yeah, there's one guy that's got like, it's almost like a orange and green, or like a forest green look.
Right.
And then he's got like orange booty type shoes, and it's just, yeah, not great. And then, of course, over accessorizing, they got the tiaras going on.
I know, right? So, speaking of the villains, let's do our villain gauge where we rate baddies from 1 to 5 dark stars, 5 being the most wicked. How would you rate the 3 gym trainers that are mind controlled in this episode?
Who we don't really get names for, I don't think.
I don't think so.
I don't think they're named. They're okay. They're okay. I think they are interesting more in the way that they are dispatched by Usagi than anything that they really bring to the table. They chase her around.
Yes.
When they go full evil, they get yellow eyes and look kind of scary. And she's back to being just freaked out and scared.
Right.
But I love the fact that Luna's a good manager. She knows how to work her talent. And so she's talking about how she's like, oh, I'm scared. I don't want to fight these guys. And she's like, you might lose some weight if you fight them. She's like, let me get them. She's like, 1 kilogram, 2 kilograms.
No, I know.
And takes them out. And then throws the tiara at the end and doesn't tear them in half. Surgically knocks their things off because they are just humans and it's not really their fault.
Right.
So
and they don't need to be destroyed.
She shows restraint in that. And I thought that was neat. It's just, I don't know what's going to happen next week, but I feel like they're showing us that she's getting more sort of fine control over her abilities and stuff. So.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, so, but, sorry, guys. 2 dark stars.
I'm going to give them a 1. I think that they're scary because they're big and they're tall and they're all going at her at once. So it's like, instead of 1 bad guy, it's 3. But I think she dispatches them pretty easily. And Jedi basically sooks them on Sailor Moon and then just leaves. Yeah. And then, as you said, was somewhat successful with gathering energy for
they've hit some threshold, you know, some you get the steak knives now or something like that.
Right,
because
exactly.
You've got this much energy. I also think that we talked last week about how Luna can read. She can write too, apparently, or at least draw, because she draws that picture.
Oh my god, I know. It's a chubby Usagi.
Yeah, like like kawaii, and like where it's like, is there a word for fat versions of characters? Because
I'm sure there is.
That's what we get.
I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
But I am absolutely positive that there is. Just wanted to mention really quickly, last episode we were wanted to confirm what Usagi and her family's family name is. It is Tsukino, which means of the moon. So her name means rabbit of the moon, literally. There you go. So there you go. Now it is time to rate this episode from 1 to 5 roses, 1 being the most awesome. Cal, how would you rate this episode overall?
I gotta give it 2. I would give it 3. I think that it is problematic.
Definitely.
Just from a modern reading. Like I said, ignorance is a half defense.
Yeah.
Because I know that they weren't trying to do anything mean-spiritedly. But, if this is the early 90s, you can figure this out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
You could figure out that it would be easy to tweak this just a little bit to tell us at the end that it doesn't matter. Because every other episode features some character getting obsessed over something and then realizing, too much of anything is not a good thing. And so it would be easy to do that. Instead, they lean heavily on the comedy, which I was laughing my ass off during this episode.
I know.
While looking at myself disapprovingly from above. But yeah, it's a little too complicated for me to feel comfortable giving it a very high rating. So I got to give it probably 2 out of 5.
Okay. I'm going to give it 1 out of 5.
Whoa!
I think it could have done a lot better to deal with this serious issue.
You would sabotage the dream of this episode to make fun of girls trying to lose weight?
Yes, I would. And I just realized we were going to come up with English titles for every episode, and I think we forgot to do that last episode. My English title for this episode is Moon Diet, Usagi's Lament.
I think my title from last episode was "Thank you."
Okay, fair.
30 minutes a day, chase the bento away.
I like it. My English episode title from last week would be "Love Energy, True Hearts Prevail."
Okay, I can see that. Sleepy time.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about what's coming up next episode. We will be talking about episode number 5, which is Yoma no Kaori, Shanera wa ai wo Nusume in Japanese, or Scent of a Monster, Chanela will steal your love. And there is no English title for this episode because it was not included in the original Deke dub.
I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, so we'll see why they did not include this one, but they included episode 4, Slim City.
It's the pregnancy scare one.
That's right.
Moon power diaphragm.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's our show for this week, and the name of the moon will be punishing you next week with another episode of Sailor Noob.
Nothing costs more than something that's free.